Hare Krishna. Good evening, good morning for people who are out of India. Warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for taking time off your busy schedule and joining our systematic study of Bhagavad-Gita, Gita Amrutam Rasmalayam. We are on Dhyana Yoga, Yoga of Self-Control. Most important thing for us in Kali Yuga. How do we control ourselves? How do we control our mind? Let us explore Krishna's path of meditation together. And let's do it with rapt attention, deep reflection, and let's consciously apply this in our lives going forward. With this, I offer my obeisances to my dear Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. I seek blessings of my Shiksha Guru, His Grace, Gauravilas Prabhuji. Start with Sri Guru Pranam Mantra. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. With their blessings, I hope I will be able to do justice to bring out the essence of each verse we are going to discuss today. Before we really get into the class, hope you were all able to participate and enjoy the teaser quiz. This is the first time we are trying to bring this into play. We just wanted to test what is your knowledge, what is your expectation, what do you think happens to all the hard work that you put for spiritual enlightenment, spiritual growth, spiritual knowledge. And I found the attendance has been quite good. There has been a good participation. So thank you for all those who have participated. And for those who we tried to motivate to participate, hope that you give us a better response next time. Now, having shared the quiz, I also want to walk you through what was the essence of this quiz. How is it connected to the class today? So there were 4 questions. I will just go through that briefly because we'll have to manage our time. The first question was, what do you feel is the biggest factor in overcoming inner struggles or lack of focus? You will all be surprised. All the people who have attended, 100% marks of this question. So all of you have very well understood the answer to this question. And the answer is option A, discipline and steady practice. That is the only possible way to overcome inner struggles or lack of focus. Second question, if a sincere seeker gets distracted, and distraction is going to be the word we are going to discuss in detail today, or falls from their path, what do you think happens to their effort? This was a question which I found 93% people could get correct. So 7% people got it wrong. So for their benefit, the right answer is, if a sincere seeker gets distracted or falls from the path, their effort stays within them. Nothing gets lost and supports them later. Please make a note of this. So whatever time we invest in listening to Gita or listening to any scripture, any spiritual effort is never wasted. We will discuss this in detail going forward. That is the link of this quiz to the class today. Third question. What best describes how spiritual progress continues across one's life journey? This was yet another question where only 92% of the people could get it correct. And for the benefit of those, it continues gradually and carries forward in subtle ways. So remember, whatever time we have invested, there is no loss, there is no diminishing return, there is nothing like, oh, the Lord has forgotten whatever I did. It is permanently in your credit. That is the beauty of spiritual effort. The last question, which I was expecting could be tricky, surprisingly found 100% correct marks. Of course, I have not seen the response in the last half an hour, but till then, all of you have got it correct. And what was the question? Imagine being told for the next 30 seconds, you can think about anything except a pink elephant. What typically happens to human mind in this scenario? And all of you, or most of you, have got it right. The mind plays tricks. The mind immediately and repeatedly pictures the pink elephant. So this is the tricky mind we are going to control. And we want to control. We wish to control. We desire to control. We hope to control. And this class today is going to tell us Krishna's formula, how we can control our mind. So I told you this quiz has a link with the class today. So what is that link? What are the 2 points that this quiz tried to reveal? And all of you who participated, you have gained this knowledge. First one is spiritual progress is steady. Attending Gita Amrutam Rasamalayam class is spiritual study. This is not material study. Whatever effort you put in, however little, however much, however more, it is cumulative and protected by sincere effort. It is never wasted. This is the message of Krishna to Arjuna and to all of us. So remember, we are working for eternal gain. Second important point, the mind needs training, not suppression. Don't be disappointed if your mind gets distracted. It is natural. We will see this going forward. It is nature is to get distracted, waver, fixated. When you say don't think of the pink elephant, the mind will think of the pink elephant. Now, this is the mind that we have got as a gift from Krishna. How do we control it? So this is what the quiz tried to reveal. And now we start the actual session. We all love going to Golok Vrindavan. And we have boarded Goloka Express because we want to reach Goloka within this lifetime safely and peacefully. We are on chapter 6, that is station number 6, Dhyana Yoga. And the session today is going to talk about what happens. Arjuna is asking Krishna, "Oh Krishna, please tell me what happens if I start on the path of yoga and then I stop or I fail?" Very relevant question to all of us. And let's see what is the answer of Krishna. So this session makes it so very interesting. We have seen this acronym. This is called EZ. We have finished Enemy or Friend. We are in Ashtanga Yoga. We have just one verse to complete. The third session also starts today, success or failure. And this is a very, very key revelation by Krishna to Arjuna and to all of us. So we will focus on this in detail. And then the last section is why topmost yogi, that is Bhakti Yogi. So today's session covers Arjuna's question. I mentioned this earlier too. Why am I highlighting Arjuna's question? I am highlighting this because the question of Arjuna, which is more than 5,200 years old, is relevant even today. He also started to join the battlefield with enthusiasm and then within a few minutes got distracted by confusion. So welcome to the club of Arjuna. If he can get confused, any of us can get confused. There is nothing wrong in getting confused. The question is how Arjuna came out of his confusion. Can we do this? That is the lesson for us. So what is Arjuna's question? He asked Krishna, what happens if I start, oh Krishna, I am on the battlefield, but for various reasons I'm confused. I don't want to fight with my relatives. What do I do? So does it mean I have failed? Krishna says, oh dear Arjuna, no effort is ever wasted when you are working with the Supreme Lord. Whether it is little, whether it is more, they are immaterial. What counts is what you have done sincerely. Now we come to this great new concept of spiritual bank account. We are not new to bank accounts. We all have an loan from the bank, EMI every month. So it is nothing new to us. And we also know that in the material world, the bankers will never forget your EMI, even if you want to forget the EMI. But here, the reverse works. The spiritual bank account where even if you forget your deposit, which you have made over past many lifetimes, the Lord doesn't forget it. That deposit is permanent. So this is very good news for our hope. So whatever struggle we go through in trying to understand Gita's wisdom is never wasted. It is permanently to your credit. So, is this question of Arjuna familiar to us? I would say yes. The same fear that Arjuna had, we also have. What if I start and don't progress? What if I join Gita Amrutam Rasmalayam session and I'm not able to continue for 2 years? What will happen? This is a question which is universal and eternal because it has started more than 5,200 years ago. So we are all puzzled, bewildered, hoping to know what is the right answer. The right answer is the secret to getting ahead is getting started. This is a famous quote by Mark Twain. So don't worry about what happens to the results, whether Krishna will remember my effort. He is giving you a blanket promise, not even an assurance, saying that it is never going to go waste. I will remember. So it is much better to work for Krishna because he gives you permanent credit. And we will see this in the next few verses, how relevant it is to us. So what is the common factor between us and Arjuna? It is fear. And what is Krishna telling Arjuna to do? Break free of this fear. You don't have anything to fear. Similarly, if Arjuna has nothing to fear, we have nothing to fear. Is because Krishna is saying, your entire worry is coming from this fact, I work for it, and what if I don't complete the course? It is perfectly fine. Wherever you stop, you will start from it in the next life. So spiritual bank account is the new concept. We are trying to describe to you how your spiritual effort is eternal. This is the hope-giving statement. Any of us may face various problems of life. We will have to remember this. Whatever time I have spent for studies of Gita or other scriptures, that effort remains with me forever. The session that we are going to cover today is the journey of a falling yogi. All of us face failures. So failure is nothing to be worried about, nothing to be ashamed about. Sorry. Failure is the stepping stone to success. And the most important lesson we are going to learn today from Krishna is how to control our difficult mind. Controlling the mind is the solution for a peaceful existence in this world. And Krishna is giving you a formula which we'll have to listen carefully. And then one is you understand it and then you try to implement it. The challenge lies, you may be fast in understanding it, but are you fast in implementing it? So control the mind, and how to do that, we will see going forward. Now I'm going to play this video if it plays, just to tell you that life is not easy. Sitting in front of the laptop and listening to a lecture is only part of the story. When you have to apply it to our life, you will have to go through this video. If it plays, I will show you. But Gita has a solution, whatever be the situation in life. Let's see if it plays. Here you go. So, what was the essence of the film that we saw? Life is complex, complicated. Your situation is different from mine, and billions of people exist in this world, and all of us have our own unique problems and our own unique challenges. Krishna says, wherever you are, whatever be the situation in your life, just try follow these principles. These are the basic principles of life. If you apply, that is Gita wisdom, we can find a solution to that problem and sail through the situation as smoothly as we can. So this is the second lesson which we are covering, Ashtanga Yoga. And the last verse in this section is coming up. We then Let's see. And I will spend a few minutes more on this verse, which was completed in the last class by Shamchandra Prabhuji, because this is the verse which tells us how to control our mind. And the most important word that we are all so familiar with, that is distraction. And I'm going to spend a few minutes to tell you how there is a journey of from distraction to action embedded in the same word. So without much ado, I will not read the Sanskrit verse. I'll go to the English translation so that we save time. The verse says, Lord Shri Krishna said, O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind. So Krishna is accepting it very straightforward. But it is possible by suitable practice and by detachment. So I call it the two-step mantra. How to control our mind. One is practice makes a man perfect. I'm sure all of us know this by heart. And what Krishna is now adding to this formula is detachment. So practice, we are aware of. Detachment is what we have to pick up and practice. So Krishna is very clearly acknowledging in this message that, yes, I understand, Arjuna, mind is restless and difficult to control. No arguments. But he gives us hope and he defines a process, which he says, Abhyasena tu kaunteya. Abhyasa means practice. Vairagyena cha gharyate. Detachment from distractions. And I promised you we are going to spend time on distraction, because distraction is the one which takes us away from control of mind. Practice makes you perfect. So keep at it till we gain, and then practice detachment. What is this distraction? Why is it so difficult to control? What is that happens in our mind that it moves? It is never able to stay in one place for 1 second either. I say don't look at the pink elephant, the mind will think of the pink elephant. So this is the challenge of distraction. Now we call this journey of distraction to action. This is an oxymoron word. Within the word distraction, there is a solution too. So, first thing and foremost, accept. We must always understand what we are dealing with. What is the nature of mind? The nature of mind is to move. It will never be static, never be stagnant. So, what's wrong? Mind is doing its work. So, let's not get perturbed, disturbed, worried, anxious. So, say that distraction is normal, distraction will happen, distraction has to happen. Now, I told you in the word distraction, there is action. How it happens? It is called the process of subtraction. We have to remove gently, deliberately, first the obvious noise. Keep your mobile phones away. Endless scrolling, watching numerous reels. Try and subtract your mind from these unnecessary engagements. They are unnecessary when it comes to comparison with attending Gita Amrutam Rasmalayam class. Seeing reel, scrolling through your messages is not a crime, but when to do what is something which you have to decide. Then, from the first step of subtraction, you go to the next step of subtraction, where you remove deeper layers of subtle desires, the need for validation. The whole world should say that, wow, he is the greatest. That is something which is innate, inbuilt. That is the default mechanism in all of us. We should try to reduce that slowly, step by step. And finally, you can get or come to the most difficult distraction to get rid of is the ego. I am so and so. The constant pull of I and me and mine. If you are able to do this journey of subtraction, that distraction is never going to be a problem. Distraction will lead you to action because you are conscious that the nature of my mind is to move and I will bring it back. So the challenge that Krishna has told us to manage a distracted mind, a distractible mind, is to try and subtract out the noise, subtract out the disturbances, and you don't become less. You are not going to be empty by this. You will have clarity. That is the essence of learning how we move from distraction to action. Distraction is not defeated by force. Any amount of promises, any amount of self-resolve, that resolutions, New Year resolution, I will not get distracted. I will not read WhatsApp. I will not watch Netflix. I will not watch IPL is not going to hold water unless and until you accept that, yes, my mind will say, do this. Then what I have to do is repeatedly, lovingly bring the mind back, saying that on a Saturday between 7 to 8:15, I want to join this class. Please support me and watch the change. It will agree to you. Journey of subtraction is the mantra. What do you do in this journey? You have to remove. You have to remain committed. Again and again, tell yourself that I will not miss this class, come what may. Then you will succeed. Repeat this message to your mind till it starts listening to you. Remember, the essence of learning in this distraction is temporary. It is not a fault which you cannot change. It is just the settings that you have to fine tune to make your mind say that, okay, Mr. Rao, Mr. Sakshi Mohan, you are saying that I want to study Gita on a Saturday every day in the evening. Yes, I will support you. Bring your mind back to this, and till it doesn't come here, your distraction will continue to bother you. The day you're able to make your mind stand peaceful and say that I have accepted, nothing else comes in my way of joining this class, then you are there. This is what I had promised you in my earlier mails, and we are going through this. So, what are our challenges? What will take us on this path? Distraction to action, that is devotion. Notification versus Krishna. So we have to assign weights in our mind that I am not going to get disturbed by notification. So understand, distraction is not the problem. Misdirection is. Be clear. In this 1 hour, I will not allot it to something else. 23 hours on a Saturday is still with you. You can do what you want. Remember, most serious, esteemed devotee like Arjuna got distracted. So there is nothing to feel ashamed of being distracted. Except that the mind's nature is to get distracted. It's like water has to flow. You cannot say, water, I'm going to put you here, stay here forever. No, it doesn't work. So the question is, what makes the mind to come back to do what you want? Krishna has never promised in Gita, I will give you a distraction-free mind. Oh, Arjuna, just chant my name. No, he doesn't say that. He says, oh, Krishna, Arjuna, mind will get distracted, but what you should do is bring it back. He teaches a returning mind to the task you want the mind to do. So don't aim for zero distractions, aim for a strong comeback. That is the hope, that is the mantra, that is the magic. Remove, remain, and repeat. If you practice this, you will make it a habit. Each of these words is so powerful. Distraction will lead you to action. Habit. Why is habit so important? Because built in the word is its strength. If you remove H, a bit still remains. If you remove HA, it still remains. That is the power of habit. Why Krishna says, as long as your mind doesn't listen, bring it back again and again. Make it a habit so that the mind becomes still. Habit is power. If you are able to bring your mind back to what you want, then the journey of impossible becomes I am possible. That is the essence. The most powerful learning from today's class is these two slides. I hope you have taken notes. Journey from distraction to devotion. This is what Krishna says in 6.26 to 6.28. Everything that I have mentioned in the last two slides is covered in these verses. In 6.26, he says, Yato yato nischalati manaschanchalam astiram. Best mind is going to wander again and again. Oh, Krishna Arjuna, bring it back. Don't have guilt. Don't be frustrated. Atmani eva vasam naye. Bring it back. If you do this, if you make it a habit, then what happens? Prashanta manasam hi inam, brahma bhutam akalmasham. The mind stabilizes, the mind cools down. You get an inner calm. 6.28 ends with the same statement, Atyantam Sukham Ashnate. So the journey of these three verses is distraction will happen. Make your mind return to the job on hand. You will start experiencing peace and then you will get joy. Atyantam Sukham Ashnate. This is how we should learn how to control our mind. So don't stop the mind because motion and movement is intrinsic to the mind. Make that motion favorable to you. Make the mind use the same motion to come back to what you want to achieve, and the mind will listen to you. So, with that, we have finished the revision part of what we wanted to do by going through the last class verse, plus understand how we can move from distraction to devotion. And now we start the first verse of the day. Let me also give you a secret. The verses today are very simple, very easy. The essential learning was what I have spent time till now. We have spent almost half an hour only on understanding this because that is the essence of learning which we can apply in our day-to-day lives. So let's go with the first verse of the day, 6.36. Here, I start with a story. You can see this person. He is young, as qualified as any of you. And he is a typical Gen Z. He wants to dig water, a well, and get water. He starts digging. He digs it up to some extent. Then he finds there's no water, repeats it into the next, and next, and next. No success anywhere. What does this show? Krishna says this is what happens to your mind. If you do not rein it in, you do not hold it back, it will keep jumping. But if you are able to anchor your mind, if you are determined to say that, no, I want you to first explore the spot completely before saying there is no water here. I don't want to jump from one to the other before completing the task. If only we were to do this, this gentleman is able to find water in the very first attempt. And what is the difference between the first and the second? It is patience, perseverance, practice. That's what is the essence of this verse. Let's go through the verse. Asamyatatmana yogo dushprapa iti me mati vasyatmana tu yatata sakyo vaptum upayataha. So what is the solution? Krishna says, control your mind by practice and detachment. So what is said in 6.35 and 6.36 are complementary to each other. Translation. For one whose mind is unbridled, we all know that, self-realization is difficult work. Remember the first person trying to dig quickly without success and going into the next part. But he whose mind is controlled, determined, and who strives by appropriate means is assured of success. That is my opinion. So don't jump from one task to the other, even though the fashion of the day is multitasking. People say that I can work on my mobile, I can also look at my laptop, I can answer my boss's mails, and I'm completely at ease. That is a fallacy. You may be doing it, but you are never going to achieve efficiency. You are never going to be effective. Let's go through the verse. Control the mind by practice and detachment. Asamyatatmana yogo. The first sentence is mind is uncontrolled. All of us agree, all of us identify, all of us understand very, very easy. Our mind is completely entangled, doing million things at the same time. Then he says, Dushprapa iti mimati. In this situation, O Arjuna, how will you attain perfection of yoga? Perfection of yoga is when your mind is at peace. So you will never be able to get this lock right because you have never been able to make your mind peaceful. Vasyatmana tu yatata sakyo vaptum upayataha. With controlled mind, one is assured of success. That is the essence of this word. As I told you, the verses are very easy. What we have to understand is how do we work on implementing these complex and the concepts. So with that, we have finished the Ashtanga Yoga part. We are starting lesson 3, success or failure. This is the leap between failure to success. And if we follow the path of Gita, there is no fear whatsoever of falling in the cliff between. You will definitely land successfully on the other side, irrespective of what stage you are, what problems you are facing. Arjuna had already taken our side because he said, Oh, Krishna, this process is extremely difficult. Please tell me, how do you think I can manage it? Krishna smilingly says, Don't worry, Arjuna, I will give you the essential answer to make your mind peaceful. Let us go to the verse. Arjuna Uvacha Ayatihi Shraddhayo Veto Yoga Chalitamaanasaha Aprapya Yoga Samsiddhim Kam Gatim Krishna Gacchati. What is Krishna saying? So Arjuna Vacha, Arjuna is asking Krishna, he says, Oh Krishna, please tell me, Ayatihi. Ayatihi is one, Yati is a transcendentalist, Ayatihi is one who is an unsuccessful transcendentalist. The translation, Arjuna is saying, Oh Krishna, what is the destination of the unsuccessful transcendentalist? Ayatihi, who in the beginning takes to the process of self-realization with faith, but later desists due to worldly mindedness, and thus does not attain perfection in mysticism. It is like our IPL coming in the way of Gitamrutam session. Then you can understand mind will vacillate. What will happen if I watch IPL one Saturday? Nobody is any wiser. I will say I was busy. So this is what the trick the mind plays with us. If you are able to bring your mind back from IPL to Gitamrutam, you have won the battle. If your mind takes you back to IPL, mind has won the battle. So this is the constant flux between mind and the person, and you decide who wins and who loses. Again, verse is very easy. Shraddhaya yopeto means one who engages with faith. You are investing with Shraddha, Kshama, Dhamma, Upakrama, Viveka, Vairagya. All the tools that you have, you are going to put as a yati, as a transcendentalist. This is what is your desire. That it's like when we announced Gitamrutam Rasmalayam, we had so many members joining the group out of enthusiasm. That is Shraddhaya Yopeto. You have all the enthusiasm, all the Shraddha, all the determination when we join the group. Ayatihi. But there is something which goes wrong between what we plan and what we do because the gap is execution. Ayatihi. But efforts are unsuccessful, unable to persevere for whatever reason. The reason could be genuine, there is no doubt about it. The problem and the challenge will remain if you are not able to find that part of this. If can I park this for an hour? There lies the answer. And it is only in your hands. Your time is managed by yourself. We can give you the best class, but you should be present, first make time, and then you should be attentive to understand and digest the essence of Gita. Yoga Chalita Manasaha Aprapya Yoga Samsiddhim. What does it mean? We know mind's nature is to move from one matter to another in microseconds, in nanoseconds. So it drags you from Gitamrutam, from yoga to IPL, Netflix, whatever it is. Then where is the question of Aprapya yoga samsiddhim. How will you get perfection, O Arjuna? That is what Krishna is saying. Kam gatim Krishna gachati. Now Arjuna is saying, I know Krishna, I know that I will get distracted. Can you please tell me what will happen to me if I get distracted? What is my destination? This is the question. This is the verse that we have gone through. Arjuna Vacha. So Arjuna is asking Krishna. So we should try to be a yati and not a ayati. We should try to bring the distracted mind back rather than allow the mind to go where it wants. Coming back, returning back, journey of subtraction. That's the mantra for success. Now, let's look at nature. Just like we face challenges, nature also faces challenges. But what does nature do to respond to these challenges? They never think of only today or tomorrow. They always think about beyond the immediate. And that is what we have to apply when we work for spiritual progress. Look at a plant. They grow deep roots because they know that the weather can become adverse and I have to survive. So, if we have to survive and we want to be peaceful, we want to be joyful, then we'll have to work towards executing the Gita wisdom. We'll have to practice, we'll have to detach. We'll have to detach from material activities and we'll have to practice how to detach from material activities. Camel, what does the camel do? Camel is a hum. It stores fat because it is in a desert, beating sun, and it has to travel long distances. No man is going to allow camel to rest until and unless it has delivered the goods from one place to the other. Camel does it peacefully. Why? Because it has already stored fat for a rainy day. So what we should do is, yes, camel never complains, oh, why this desert is so hot. Camel never says, oh, why these people make me travel so long. Whatever task is given to it, it will execute it. It will only plan how to execute the task peacefully. So we'll have to learn from the plant, we'll have to learn from the camel, apply that in our lives, and then we will also be able to control our minds. Considering future problems is a sign of intelligence. I know very well next Saturday which IPL match is on cards, and I know that that is a club that I'm going to die for. Then I have to practice from today till next Saturday to ensure that my mind doesn't get distracted to the IPL and gets concentrated on Gita Amritam. And I take examples from nature because nature is the best teacher. What are the learnings that we can apply in our day-to-day lives? Please protect me from the ambush of my lower desires. And IPL and Netflix, let's say I have a party, I have a send-off party to attend, I have a reception to attend, whatever it could be. All those things will only give you material results. That 1 hour, if you spend on anything else in this world, it is not equal to 1 hour that you would have spent on Gita. This is not what we are saying. This is what Krishna is saying. If you invest that time, I will give you the fruits forever, but do plan to invest that time. You decide 1 hour in a week, and which is that day, which is that 1 hour. It is in your hands. Don't get attracted by the lower desires. Let's go to the next verse, 6.38, another beautiful verse. I will give you the essence so that the verse becomes very easy. And the analogy here is a riven cloud. What is the riven cloud? A cloud which breaks away from the mother cloud. So there are two clouds. One is spiritual cloud, another is material cloud. And this fellow has decided to jump from material and move towards spiritual. Now, Arjuna is asking, what happens to me, wavering yogi, strong winds? Will I survive or will I die? Chidam chinna brahm iva nashyati. Nashyati means destroyed. Am I going to be killed by the strong winds? Since I have moved away from this shelter of material cloud, I am not able to reach spiritual cloud. What happens? This is the essence of this verse. The key line is chinna brahm iva nashyati. Am I going to be destroyed because I am not able to achieve what I want and I have left what I had? That is the essence of this verse. Kachinno bhaya vibrastaha chinna brahm ivanashyati apratisto mahabaho vimudo brahmanapati. So Arjuna is asking, what happens to the fallen yogi? Oh Krishna, please tell me. Again, a very easy verse. Translation. O mighty armed Krishna, does not such a man who is bewildered from the path of transcendence, I want to go to the spiritual cloud, fall away from both spiritual and material success. I'm not able to, what happens? And perish like a riven cloud with no position in any sphere. This is his doubt, this is his fear, this is his anxiety. And Arjuna wants ironclad guarantees from Krishna before he attempts. As I said, spiritual cloud is the path of yoga, material cloud is the path of action. The riven cloud is this cloud. What happens to this is Arjuna's question. Kachin means has strong interest. When we start, we always have strong interest to achieve spiritual progress. But the challenge is there are things which go wrong between the lip and the kiss. So that is what we should avoid. That is what we should guard against. No bhaya vibrastaha. Imagine this cloud, it is neither here, it is nor there. What happens to me? No bhaya vibrastaha. This is what Arjuna is asking. Chinna brahm evanashiti. Am I going to be destroyed like a scattered cloud that drifts away? This is his question. He says, this cloud can be compared to a wavering yogi, and am I going to get destroyed because I'm not able to achieve the perfection of what I wanted to achieve? I wanted to achieve 100 out of 100 classes of Gita Amritam. Can I do it? My score is only 10 out of 100. What do I do? That is the question that Arjuna is asking. And strong winds. What is strong winds? Strong winds is all the disturbances. And for a minute, please take it that we are not underestimating the genuineness of your challenges. I just received a message from a student who is giving his exams next month. He says, Prabhuji, I can't attend. I can't say, no, don't study for your exams, come for the class. These are perfectly understandable, perfectly fair challenges. We must try to find what is the best solution. Apratisto Mahabahu. Now, without support, when a strong wind blows, if I don't have the support of these bigger clouds, either here or there, it is for sure that I will get destroyed. Vimido Brahmanapati, become deluded in the path of transcendence. Have I attempted the impossible? Krishna says, no, you have not attempted the impossible. You are only going to make it. I am possible. That is the essence of learning. What we can take home as learnings? Gita shows the best peak. So control your mind is the best peak. And it also tells you what is the best route to reach it. Abhyasa, practice, vairagya, detachment. So it is not a very complicated E is equal to mc squared formula. We may have to go through 10 pages of derivation to understand how it works. No, one for the left ear, one for the right ear. I remember practice, I remember detachment. That's it. The challenge is retain it here and then put it in the practice in our lives. Let's go to the next verse. Here, the story is there's an youngster who decides to take a shortcut through a dark passage in the forest. And he has a lamp. And imagine when you are going through the forest, there could be rough winds and the lamp is not very stable. And this lad is worried. Yeah, I know it is a short distance, it's a shortcut, but will I reach the other place with this flimsy lamp? So this is his doubt. Same doubt like what Arjuna has. And what is the challenge? He starts walking, he's doing good progress, but then he says, oh, well, very next minute I can be in trouble because this lamp can get put off. There is strong wind blowing. Then what will happen to me? This is the same feeling that Arjuna has when he's asking Krishna the question. Then he meets another person coming from the opposite direction. who tells him, "Oh dear lad, where are you heading to?" He says, "I want to cross the distance and I am having this problem." And he says, "Don't worry, I assure you, this path is now you have covered the hard part, very little distance left. You can easily pass it with this lamp. Don't worry, because you now know the way." So the understanding is that stranger whom this boy met is Krishna. The doubt that this boy had, "Oh, well, will the lamp put off? Can I reach the other side?" is the same doubt that Arjuna has. And the moment this kid listened to from that stranger, "I have come from that path. I know that path. It is straightforward. Nothing to worry. With lamp, without lamp, you can reach there." The lad is assured. That is the essence of this verse. The fear that stops your spirituality. Krishna is saying, take out that fear, O Arjuna. Etan me samshayam Krishna. Samshayam means doubt. Chetum arhasi ase sataha. Tvad anya samshaya yasyasya chetna hi upapadyate. Arjuna's inquiry. So Arjuna is still tentative, still anxious. He wants to know, well, "Oh Krishna, I'm really not feeling comfortable." Just like the lad in the other example, "Can I reach that path with this flimsy lamp?" Krishna says, no. Arjuna is telling Krishna, "Etan me samshayam Krishna." My doubt is still there. This is my doubt, O Krishna. And I ask you to dispel it completely. I don't want to have any doubts on that. But for you, no one is to be found who can destroy this doubt. Just like the kid in this example who trusted that stranger because the stranger said, "I know the path." Arjuna is saying, "Oh Krishna, I trust you. There is no one else who can give me clarity other than you." The essence of this verse is, "This is my doubt, O Krishna, and I ask you to dispel it completely." Looks complicated, but very simple in meaning. Etan me samshayam Krishna. This doubt is bothering me. Chetum arhasi asesataha. Remove this doubt completely. Tvad anya samshaya yasyasya. Apart from you, Chetanahi nahi upapadyate. No one can clarify this doubt. That is his faith in the Supreme. That should be our faith in Gita. If I want to attend Gita class because it is going to solve so many problems of my life, then we must take full shelter and full surrender and say that I know this 1 hour is going to give me multiple fold benefits going forward. Let's go to the next verse. A very familiar picture. A picture talks 1,000 words. Here is a lad who studies hard. He's preparing for his exam. Great enthusiasm. Excuse me. He's not he's not falling short of any efforts. He's doing well. He attends his class, goes to the college. Excellent. But then there were some problems in the family and he couldn't give the exam. Now, what happens? We are all aware in the material world, the yardstick is very harsh. It says, if you do not give the exam, if you do not do well in the exam, you have failed. All your effort goes down the drain. Incomplete education is equal to no result. This is the material world that we are all aware of. This is the material world in which we are living. Now, keep this context in mind to this verse. So in 6.38, Arjuna asked, what happens to me? Will I get destroyed because I'm not able to complete the path of yoga? Chinnabram ivanashyati, get ruined like a scattered crowd. In 6.40, he's asking, and he's getting the hope from Krishna. Krishna says, no effort is ever wasted. The yogi never falls. This is what the verse says. Vinashastasya vidyate. You will never meet with destruction, O Arjuna, downfall or setback. Nothing negative can happen to you in the present, in the past, or in the future. That is my assurance to you. So we are taking that assurance from Arjuna and wanting to follow the path of Arjuna, saying that I completely surrender to Krishna. I will do as he says. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. So Krishna is answering. Partha naiveha namutra vinashastasya vidyate nahi kalyana krut kaschid Durgatim tat gacchati. You will never have failure. No misfortune will ever come to you. Durgatim tat gacchati. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O son of Prutha, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities. Please understand, underline auspicious activities. He says, Nahi kalyana krut kasyap, does not meet with destruction either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. So don't worry about not completing the task, but be worried about only doing auspicious things in your life. Do not lie, do not steal, be honest, are all the guidelines that you should follow. Only then I will protect you. That's what Krishna is saying. Nahi kalyana krut kasyet. Do good things, durgatim tatagachati. I will protect you. So if you try to say that I wanted to attend Gita class, but I decided to go and attend a movie, that is not auspicious. If you don't attend the class and sit and study for an exam, that is an auspicious task. Durgatim tata gacchati. Krishna will protect you. So one who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. So we must choose our tasks. Even if you want to skip a scripture class, it is fine, provided you are doing an equally auspicious task. Partha Naiveha Namutra. Oh Partha, neither here nor in the next birth. Vinashastasya vidyate. You will never meet with destruction, downfall, or setback in the present, past, or future. So imagine what task is equal to in this material world, which gives us such assurance. A simple material exam says if you don't write the paper, you will not get marks. This is the harsh reality of a material world. Imagine what is the magnanimity, compassion of Krishna in the spiritual world. Nahi kalyana krutkashya. But please understand, O Arjuna, choose your tasks carefully. Durgatim tatagachati. If you follow my advice of doing only auspicious work, you will never meet with failure. You will never meet with misfortune. Srila Prabhupada quotes in the purport a beautiful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, which says, one who has forsaken his material occupations to engage in devotional service of the Lord may sometimes fall down. It is understandable. While in an immature stage, we are all sadhakas. We are not the sage. Yet there is no danger of being unsuccessful. On the other hand, a non devotee, though fully engaged in occupation duties, does not gain anything. So it is far better to keep falling, keep getting up, and still trying to do spiritual progress than material success, because material success will end with this breath. One breath away from failure. Whereas this is millions of breaths towards success. Every minute that you spend is imprinted in the memory of Krishna. It is your spiritual bank account. What is the learning? Let your words of assurance drive out my fear of failure. So let's take shelter from this verse and say that I will keep getting distracted. I'll keep getting disturbed, but I will not give it up. I will come back. I will come back. And if you have any doubts about what is auspicious task and what is inauspicious task, Krishna has already defined that for us in 2.49. He says, O Dharanjaya, keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service. And in that consciousness, surrender unto me. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. So don't do things which are for your selfish gain. That is not auspicious. We all know the journey of Valmiki from a robber to a sage. He was so illiterate when Narad Muni told him, Oh, Valmiki, please chant Lord Rama's name. He couldn't pronounce Rama. He started chanting it as Mara, 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 Mara. And Mara is devil. Mara is doubt. It is death. It is exactly the opposite of Rama's meaning. But then his desire for redemption was so strong that even a mistake in the technique, Rama became Mara, he still did not face failure. He became one of the greatest sages that we all recollect and say that this is what we have to learn from Valmiki. So even with a mistake, Krishna is willing us to pardon. So why should we not try to do this task? Irrespective of whether we fall once or 10 times, it doesn't matter. Before we go to the next verse, 6.41, this is the famous story of Saubri Muni. We all have studied in the last classes as to how carefully you should choose your place of meditation. Saubri Muni said, I don't want any place on the earth because I can get disturbed. What I will do is I'll go and sit inside river Yamuna and pray to the Lord. You can say that, well, the chance of failure inside the water is reduced drastically. You will not have an Apsara, you will not have a Menaka, Rambha, Urvashi coming and disturbing you. So Saubri Muni has done a wonderful job. But no, Maya is so powerful that while he was meditating in the water, deep in the river, he once saw a pair of fishes engaging in sexual act. That was enough. He had that desire to enjoy sexual satisfaction. He immediately stopped his penance, austerities, meditation, rushed to the king of the land, King Mandata, and said, I want to marry your daughters. And King Mandata had not one but 50 daughters. But the king said, oh dear sage, you are so shabby to look at. How do you expect me to go and ask my daughter to marry you? The Rishi said, don't worry, I have the mystic power of having meditated for so long. I will now convert myself into a beautiful boy. And he married not one, all the 50 daughters. This shows you how, after spending so many years, he got a desire. He fell prey to desire. This is what happens if you get into the path of transcendence, and if you fail, what happens to you? That is what Krishna is going to describe now. Yoga Brasto Abhijayate. The verse goes like this: Prapya Punya Krutam Lokan Usitva Shaswati Sama Suchinam Srimatam Gehe Yoga Brasto Abhijayate. Unsuccessful yogi who falls after a short practice. The translation is the unsuccessful yogi. Yes, Saubri Muni wanted to achieve the Lord, but he fell prey to a sexual desire. After many, many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, he is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. Please note down this verse in your memory that even though I don't succeed in my transcendental meditation, I will still get the benefit of Suchinam Srimatam Gehe. Gehe means family. What is Prapya Punya Krutam Lokan? Prapya Punya Krutam Lokan means one yogi who has failed after a short period of practice. Krishna still grants you access to higher planets. Imagine you will go to Maha, Janaha, Tapaha, Brahmaloka and enjoy yourself. Musitva Shashwati Samaha. He will dwell there for a long time and complete all your desires. Suchina. And after you complete your stay, you have to come back into this material world. Then you will be given two choices. Either you are born in a family of spiritual background, upbringing, or Srimatam Gehe, aristocratic family, depending on what choice you make. Why do you see an Adani, Ambani versus a Shankaracharya, Srila Prabhupada, Ramanujacharya? Because we had made the choice at that time, saying that, oh Lord, yes, I have failed. I have enjoyed myself in the upper planets. Now I want to go back to the world and I want to be born as a Suchinam Gehe in a spiritual family. Or if you had said, no, I want a Srimatam Gehe, then you would have born in an aristocratic family. Yogo Brashto, that is one who has failed from the path of self-realization, even then Krishna blesses you with this. So this is the essence of whether you fail after short time, this is what is your benefit. In the last verse of the day, even if you fail after long practice, what happens to you? Now here, there are one or two things I want to explain. Our behavior is shaped by 5 factors. One is past life karma, what we have done in the past lives, which we are not aware, upbringing, our family, our relatives, what culture we have. Do we eat non-veg? We don't eat non-veg. We go to temples, etc., etc. All the culture, it comes from upbringing. Third is association. What kind of people we choose to associate with. And fourth is free will. What do we want? And the fifth one, we should all remember, all the four are important, but the fifth is the most important. It only happens by the grace of God. This is a beautiful statement by Srila Prabhupada. He says the process is that by the grace of devotee, underline this word, the mercy of the Lord is obtained. And by mercy of the Lord, a chance to serve the Lord's devotee is obtained. So we should always try to associate ourselves with a devotee. Coming to the verse, अथवा योगिनामेव कुले भवति धीमतम् एतादि दुर्लभतरं लोके जन्म यत् ईदृशम्. An unsuccessful yogi who falls after a long practice, what happens to him? If a short practice yogi is taken care of so well, what happens to a long practice ayati? Let's talk the language of Gita. Or if unsuccessful after long practice of yoga, he takes his birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly, such a birth is rare in this world. Why we have so few people like esteemed Srila Prabhupada, Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, they are all born once in a century because it is so difficult for them to come back to this world. They have spent their past lifetimes in the service of God. Only such people will be born as sages, great people. I give you an example. Saint Gnaneshwar, he is from Maharashtra. He was born to a father, Vittal Pant, who was himself a famous devotee. And he had four children, Namdev, Muktabhai, a daughter, sister, Sopan, and Nivrutti. All the four of them were equally famous. This is what happens if you have performed path of yoga for a long time and then for some reasons fallen down. You can identify Srila Prabhupada, you can identify Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. These are people who are so rare that you'll have to wait. You can count them on your fingertips. How many such people have come into this material world? It is so rare. It is very, very rare. In fact, Srila Prabhupada quotes in the purport, in this world, such a birth is rare, very rare. What is the verse? Athava yoginam eva. Alternatively, the yogi who falls after a long period of practice. Kule bhavati dhimatam takes birth in a family of great spiritual intelligence. Etadi durlabhataram, such a birth is indeed extremely rare. All of us can understand, all of us can relate. Loke chanma yad idrisham, such an advanced devotee families are rare. Therefore, birth in such a family is also rare. So, with that, we have come to the end of the session. We have a hope giving message. Whatever efforts we put for Krishna, for studying Gita, is never forgotten. It is a spiritual bank account, it is eternal. So, all that we should do is to learn to control our mind by applying abhyasa and detachment, vairagya, then control our mind. Distraction is not a curse, distraction is to be expected, distraction will happen, distraction has to be controlled by practice and detachment. What is the takeaway? In the world, this is what we know, we have seen such a rare families, very difficult to find, and such great births happen once in a way. So, what is the last message? No effort is ever wasted. Material gains end with the body. Spiritual effort stays with the soul forever. Your spiritual bank account is permanent. On the spiritual path, no effort is ever lost. We'll have to make this notes, keep it in our permanent memory so that we'll always try to make effort, use our free will to find time to serve Krishna. Thank you very much. With that, we come to the quiz time. Prabhuji, I seek your help as we start the quiz round. Here we go. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
Prabhu.
End of the session. The first question of the quiz. I want your active participation. In Gita 6.36, who is most likely to succeed in yoga according to Krishna? A simple, straightforward question. First option, one who practices occasionally with enthusiasm. Two, one who practices occasionally and forcefully restrains the mind. I see Ramesh has already put up his hand.
Yeah.
One who practices occasionally with controlled mind and sincere effort. One who practices occasionally and renounces all activities immediately. Since there is Ramesha who was raised first. Yes, Ramesha. What do you think is the right answer?
I will go with C, one who practices occasionally with controlled mind and sincere effort.
Sure.
Yes, I'll go with it.
You see, they are all looking similar and familiar. Huh? Be careful.
Yeah, I made the effort. I'll hope that Krishna will make it right.
Okay. Let's see what's the right answer. The correct answer is C. Well done, Ramesha. You start with a century. Well
See,
done.
what I liked about his answer was he said, I made the effort and I'm leaving it to Krishna for the result.
And you see the
That
result
was a
has come
brilliant,
forward.
learning. Uh, Wonderful.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well done, Ramesha. Cheers. Let's go to the second question. In 6.37, what is Arjuna's concern about an unsuccessful yogi? Option A, he loses interest in spiritual life permanently, which was expected. He loses interest to fall from both material and spiritual paths. He is punished for incomplete practice. Ramesha seems to be in great form today. He has again raised his hand. He's really been attentive. Huh? He forgets all knowledge gained. Let me pause for 30 seconds if someone else wants to raise their hand. Go through the question and the options carefully. There
Okay,
comes Janvi.
Janvi has also raised her hand.
Yes. So, Ramesha, if you don't mind, I will give it to Janvi, even though you were first. Yes, Janvi.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. B is Prabhuji answer. B.
B, is it?
Yes, Prabhuji. I'm thinking B, but I don't know sure. Krishna will do.
Okay. And let me be sure it is B for Bombay, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Oh, Krishna, tell us what's the right answer.
Mhm.
The correct answer is hearts beating, hearts racing. The correct answer is B. Well done. So, Krishna is holding on to all his devotees. Huh?
Yeah.
So, 2 out of 2.
Whoever is depending upon Krishna, they are getting right answers.
Yes. Fantastic. Well done. Option 3 or question number 3 in Gita 6.38, what does the scattered cloud analogy primarily indicate? We spent sufficient time discussing this. I showed you pictures. The options are temporary confusion practice, loss of social identity, losing direction in both material and spiritual pursuits, weakness of determination only. Wow. Again,
Oh,
Ramesh has gone up.
yeah.
So
He's
now
in
I'll
full
pause
form.
for, yes. So let me pause for 15 seconds to see if someone else wants to take an attempt. If not, I will call Ramesh.
Where is our Krishna Mohan Prabhu today?
He's silent
Oh,
for a
there
change.
you go.
Ah, there he comes. Ramesha, you will have to practice detachment. So I will give it to Krishna Mohan Prabhu. Over to you.
Weakness of determination only.
D, is
D.
it?
D.
D for Delhi.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Ah, you have not prayed for Krishna. I don't know what happens now. The correct answer is, oh well. See,
Losing direction.
see, if only you had prayed to Krishna, maybe he would have helped you. The answer is losing direction in both material and spiritual pursuits. I'm sorry, Prabhuji. First,
Okay, Prabhuji.
so let's hope for the best in the coming questions.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Let's look at the next question. What assurance does Krishna give about the unsuccessful yogi? We have spent sufficient time discussing this. He must restart completely with no benefit. He must endure suffering of consequences before progressing, which is expected. He must aspire to immediately attain liberation in next life. Wow. He must have faith in his effort, which is never destroyed and resumes from where he left off. Wow, Ramesha is really in full form, but then 3 times we
Oh,
have pulled him back. So I'll have to do it
yeah.
once again because Bhunidhi has raised her hand.
Bhuvanidhi, Abhijit, Mitali.
So Ramesha, we are with you, but then in the for fairness, we are giving it to Bhunidhi once again. Bhunidhi, over to you. Please remember the mantra,
Prabhuji,
remember Krishna.
Dhanvat Pranam. Yes, Prabhuji. Option D. D for Damodar.
D for Damodar. The moment you brought Damodar, then there is hope in life. Let's see. He must have faith in his effort is never destroyed and assumes from where he left off. The correct answer is, oh, Damodara, reveal the answer. D. You see, you're right. So,
It proves.
so you now have understood what's the magic to get the answers right. Here we go. The last question of the session. Where is such a yogi likely to take birth? I see no hands up. In a pure or prosperous family or in a family of wise yogis? I see Krishna Mohan Das, I see Ramesh, I see Bhunidhi. In a family of strict renunciates only? In a wealthy family only? In a family based on random karma? Now I have 4 hands. All the 4 have participated. So whom should I
No,
give it to?
No, Prabhu. Abhijit has not participated.
Oh, Abhijit. Okay, fine. Abhijit, over to you. With due apologies to all the other 3, I'm sure you know the answer, but we'll give it to Abhijit. Yes, Abhijit.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I think the answer is A.
A, is it?
Yes, Prabhu.
A for apple?
Yes, Prabhu.
Sure?
I think so.
You only think so. You want to reconsider?
Since you're saying, I think I'll go with A, Prabhu, this time.
Okay. Lock kiya jaye. The correct answer is, again, this fellow comes in the way, it is A. Well done. So 4 out of 5 have gone right, only 1 which goes wrong. Well done. Thank you very much for a wonderful participation. Now, since we always run out of time, it is very difficult to squeeze in a reflection session. What we have done, like what Prabhuji did in the last class, we'll give you a homework question, but I have chosen only 1 question so that I don't want to tax you all. The homework question is, you can also share your reflections. Please feel free. The question is, I'll post this in the group as well. When I experience setbacks in controlling the mind, what does it reveal about my faith in my effort and in Krishna's assurance of progress? So don't worry, don't write down the question. I'll post it in the group. Take your time, think about it, and share your reflections. With that, I have come to the end of the session. Thank you very much. Prabhuji, thank you very much. Is there any one short question which is, burning top of the mind? We'll take it, or else we'll close the session. I think there are no questions. So let's keep up to the time. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Look forward to seeing all of you back for the next Saturday class.
So I'll just close the session, Prabhu. Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.